pattern here for MIRM0000 Esports.
Pantheon Gragas, Pantheon J4, Pantheon Olaf. It's gonna be Pantheon Olaf for FENNEL. And let's see if my theory is correct. Whichever team gets Kaisa, they're gonna win. But J4 is still available. They could pick up Gragas, they could pick up Singe. This is a good pick from MIRM0000, making sure that they will be able to deny as much champions as they can to FENNEL. Is the Irakan. Here it is. We mentioned this earlier. We're gonna be seeing the Lovebirds here for game number 3. But MIRM0000, Seraphine Sona, hello? That's a possibility.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Singe is a very strong champion. Singe is a very tanky champion with Seraphine Sona. This could complement each other, and oh boy, I am excited for this game. All right, our potential expectations have been sort of a key in a keyhole, because Fiora has came through a different Baron lane for FENNEL adversity. They have to punish Olaf as much as possible, because if they don't, MIRM0000 Esports can maybe just replace Singe with an Olaf, right? Even have Jarvan 4 replaced as well, because they don't need to have that Jarvan 4 in this game without an Olaf as the enemy team champion. So they have to pick it up, and then they were just forced to go for the Irakan at this point in time to just have an extra CC potential onto the other champions, onto Seraphine Sona, Singe, and even Jarvan 4, have that backline access against MIRM0000 Esports.
It could be another possible 1-3, yeah, another 1-3-1 for MIRM0000 most likely. Fiora. So here's the thing. FENNEL, they either have 1-4 in mind, or are they gonna go with this full-on 5v5, whereas Power is gonna be in charge of cleanup crew. And I'm very happy that they picked up Fiora, because you have a lot of kit for escape and a lot of kits to disengage. And this is going to be just some wards here. They're being placed by FENNEL. Let's see which team will be able to get the advantage in game number 3. I was right. It is going to be... Oh, okay. No one is actually at the Baron lane side for MIRM0000. It is going to be where Saya and Rakan is going to be staying. Now you have Johan still on his Kaisa. Still going to be in his own little world for the early game. Yeah, I don't think you should match Johan against Power, because Kaisa versus Fiora... I'm not too confident on this.
Same as well. I mean, this is sort of an untraditional composition, not only for MIRM0000 Esports, but also for FENNEL adversity. I think this is their first time picking up the Pantheon, or maybe not, but this is the first showing here against MIRM0000 Esports. I think they played this up against MIRM0000 Esports, because if not, they're gonna pick it away. And they have to pick the Olaf away from MIRM0000 Esports as well. So I think this is untraditional for these two teams right now coming into this game number 3. And I have no idea who's gonna win it.
So far, FENNEL would want to get their early game into this game number 3. They're going to be focusing on the turret, and looks like Emperor is just forced to protect that one. Now you have Wura. You also have MIRM0000 making their way at the Baron lane. They're going to focus on clearing out the wave. It could be a possible 3v3, but you also have the grand entrance coming through from Rafe. So I believe MIRM0000 is just going to be careful with this early game.
You have to be careful, indeed, because a lot of stakes in this game number 3. Who wins this will take it home. But I love what is happening right now. Power is now staying in the weak side of the map, trying to defend the turret, disable how MIRM0000 Esports played in that game number 2 and game number 1, just punish that type of mindset. And FENNEL adversity is doing just greatly in that type.
Okay, now that is going to be MIRM0000. That is going to be the beat drop connecting. That is going to be the roots connecting onto Danny. But there is no initiate yet for FENNEL adversity. Rakan does not have the quickness just yet. XDXP will be able to get that buff non-contested. No one is actually in Johan's lane. FENNEL, they are just pouring as much resources as they can here at the upper part of the map. Some wards being placed here and there too. Now you have Power just alone making his way down at the Dragon lane. The jump gonna connect onto the minions. MIRM0000's lineup actually has very good wave clear.
Yeah, you have the Seraphine, right? You have MIRM0000 having that potential to clear the waves. You also have Kaisa, very, very strong wave clear champion. And Emperor as well. If you think about it, since his poison is just too much as well when it comes to, especially in mid-game, late-game, when he already has built onto the ROA and also the Rylai's. And FENNEL adversity has a little bit more of a less clear wave potential, because the only one that can do that is Danny.
Just Danny, no one else actually. And maybe even Power if you're just looking at one line of minions here and there. Pantheon will not be seeing much of Shaw in this part of the match. He's gonna be keeping Emperor occupied, but now you have XTXP. I thought he was gonna try to pull the lovebirds out there, but the next objective, well, first two main objectives is gonna be up in 23 seconds. FENNEL, they have their eyes on this dragon. Mirmo could try and contest this. They do have the resources for this. Johan gonna go in with the recalls. Let's see if they'll be able to get their first core items in, maybe if
Mm-hmm.
possible. You do have the Tear of the Goddess being picked up by both Sona and by Singed. Now FENNEL is just gonna place their wards and then go back to the Dragon Spit. Their Herald already up. Ocean Drake already up. That is gonna be FENNEL giving the Dragon a start. Mirmo, they're not gonna fight. They're not gonna contest. They're gonna get their Herald.
Right, I'm glad that you mentioned about the wards. So the vision game for FENNEL University is just a lot. And consider that Mirmo Esports, you know what, has a topside dominance. I think this states the signal that FENNEL University is going bot side. So that is just the dragon coming in. Now with that trade-off, with no first blood or no tap first blood as of yet, Mirmo will potentially have that lead against FENNEL University.
Ooh, sustain is definitely the name of the game for Mirmo in this game number 3. They will be able to get one turret, but Danny alongside Rafael will be able to get one at the dragon lane as well. Dome will be able to steal the buff. So FENNEL, they want to turtle this one out. Just you'll deny Mirmo of their resources, of their possible leads. The map is actually really dark. Like you guys saw the fog of war already available in after the patch rather, so we can see the game through the player's eyes. Singe is alone at the Baron lane though. I'm not sure if he's going to be kited down by Danny, but let's see what is going to happen. We also have Wura hopping in with the heals, with a speed boost as well. They will be recalling together, and you have Power alone at the Dragon lane side. Olaf or Domeng still does not have much presence, but maybe he is just farming. He still has flash available should Danny and Rafe want to go with the pick off, but Sin is gonna go back. They could just maybe focus on getting this turret, given that Mirmo somewhere in the repair down here at the Dragon Lane.
Right, they want to pressure in the tier 1 turret into the bot side without having the information that there is a 3-man roam FENNEL University top side. So having that third trade is an important key factor for Mirmo Esports to get the early lead.
Ooh, that is gonna be XDXP being focused down, being poked by Power. He's still gonna go in with the chase, but FENNEL adversity, they could box in Mirmo here, then and there. But no fights, no jumps in just yet. They could be waiting for Rafe's grand entrance or the quickness before they make anything happen. But for now, 60 minutes in, no one actually died yet. But there's a roughly 1k goal lead in favor of FENNEL.
Right, and I think that's because they got the Ocean Dragon, and I think they even got the Tower First Blood, because Mirmo Esports did not summon the Rift Herald top side. They were just punching it, similar to how FENNEL University is doing it bot side. So they got the Tower First Blood, and that's the reason why they got the gold advantage.
Grand challenge is going to be used, but before he could even take down Singe, XTXP was there to save his teammate. No one is dying again into this game. Both of them are being very quiet. Triforce already available for Power. That's why. Also use Ignite in that previous 1v1, in that previous duel, but did not result too much. Now, FENNEL, they're kind of... No, Mirmo is being spread quite thin. They are running the 1v1 yet again. FENNEL, they could just focus on getting pickoffs. Maybe I highly recommend focusing on Yaohan, given that he is alone most of the time, but now you have XTXP lurking at the sides. You have a Shaw just being quiet at the bush side. Isn't the sun's connecting onto Yaohan, but Yaohan will be able to pop Killer Instinct and make his way into safety. I the rain connecting as well, but was not able to finish Shaw. Shaw also able to get that honeydew. But looking here at the Baron side though, Power being able to assert dominance, being able to show Emperor the power that he has. Is gonna dash in, also has quite the poke. That is gonna be the flash. It will be enough. That is gonna be a yes, because first one has been secured by this Fiora. Now you have the revenge kill coming in from Mirmo being able to burst Fiora down. But still, first spot going over to FENNEL.
I was thinking that Power was able to go back to safety with 1 HP because of your post. But no, you have Mirmo Esports with a quick response, so that will be a 1-for-1. The turrets are even right now as well. So the next clash will probably be onto the Mountain Dragon or a trade into the mid lane to get the map control. Whoever gets this is probably going to be an even trade here for these two teams.
Let's see what is gonna happen next. Now you have the mountain jig already up. We are seeing the map, the rift through the player's eyes. 2K goal lead in favor of FENNEL. That is gonna be Rafe at the front line. MIRM000000, they need to be very wary of the jump ins, the knockups, and the CCs coming out from Rakon. That's why I kind of don't felt the aggression that they had in game 2 translating here into game 3. Power still alone in his lane. FENNEL being able to run this 4-1 setup. Things going all over the map. Power will most likely tell his team that MIRM000000 is gonna try and get the mountain Jake. Blue team was able to get the Jake though. Now that SCB jump in. A initially coming through from FENNEL. You also have the Grand Challenge coming in. You have the Anchor being popping in then and there. Therapy was actually the first one to get him down. Now you have the Cataclysm coming through. Star being bursted down by Kaisa. Sim saying goodbye. Saya coming in with the pokes, with the kites. But now here's Shaw. Is he gonna try and stun? So that is gonna be a yes. Here comes XP though. Shaw is gonna be forced to go back. He was able to use Flash. Ragnarok not available. Quickness not available. Grand Entrance not available as well. But Shaw is still alive after that.
That was probably sort of an even trade because MIRM000000 Esports has gotten the Mountain Dragon. FENNEL University got in the 1-for-2 trade-off for their team. So right now, even if FENNEL has sort of the lead coming into that one, they got the 2K gold, which they can translate into much more. You're looking at Pantheon having the 2K gold lead. And when you're comparing into similar mid lane onto Emperor, 2K gold difference. And I think that's very important because Pantheon right now with level 10 already nearing level 11, nearing that level 2 of ultimate is gonna be very important because the scaling will be much more when it comes to the armor penetration side.
Looks like FENNEL, they want the late game too. That's why they're just being very conservative, being very quiet. Here point out Ura though coming in with a speed boost, just making sure that there's no one from FENNEL side that could steal their buff. You have the lovebirds rather, up top at the Baron lane. Baron is available. You have the Cataclysm coming through, but that is Nibisha being very, very tanky. Yo, he's still alive. What was that? You have the Ankars connecting. Shadow connecting as well, but here is Rafe jumping in with the charms. He received a chunk of damage, but he is A-okay. Now you have XP jumping in. You have flashes being used. No one is still dying from these two teams.
Yeah, and Danny forced out the ultimate. So now, no ultimate so far in the next fight, while MIRM000000 Esports can now pressure in.
Roots are gonna come through will be that is the BAS because Saya gets bursted down by Yao Han. Plus one turret has been taken. That was a 4-5. You have Pantheon. He jumped in a tad bit too late, but you'll see where SBA no because Crispy going over to Yao Han. That was a audition play from FENNEL. Shaw could have not popped his ult then and there, given that FENNEL was falling back. But I guess all in a day's work from MIRM000000, they were able to translate it to their lead. You also have the Scuttler going over to XP, popping in with the flag. Definitely not gonna go in with the drag, but at least they know that there's no one at the Baron side.
It was just MIRM0000 Esports having that great understanding what's happening in that game. They understand that FENNEL University with power very, very low, he was forced to back away. Danny used up the ultimate and the flash and no heal means that he has no escape route. So MIRM0000 Esports can now dive in under the turret, get that security and also get a kill.
Cataclysm and an encore, but Taya was forced to pop the Feather Storm just to make sure she will not get taken down. Now you have Shaw with re-engage. The stuns are going to come to that's going to be him popping out with the Proto Belt. But here comes XP. He is very tanky. FENNEL forced to answer to the fight that MIRM0000 Esports is bringing to them. But here at the Dragon Lane, you have Power being able to poke Singe here and there. Rafe, oh no, that's what has to be him. He's taken down. Rampage going over to Kaisa. He became fried chicken then and there. Now let's be shocked. Saying hi, saying hello. But he also got Johan also got the other half of the Lovebirds being able to burst down Danny on this Saya. Without the Dragon Lane duo, MIRM0000 Esports still very much confident to get this Baron. On top of that, Shaw doesn't have ultimate yet. Oh, he also already has ultimate. Stuns coming through, but it's not going to be enough. MIRM0000 will be able to get the Baron non-contested.
With Danny and Rafi away, it was a free Baron Nashor for MIRM0000 Esports, and now they could go into the Cloud Dragon with Doming waiting there. They could punish this to gain that extra dragon for their team.
That's true. Dominic is going to be able to see what Mirmo Esports is planning. Power and not going anywhere near that area. And it's going to be them being able to get Cloud, which will give them movement speed that they can use to get more turrets, get more objectives. Hourglass also being picked up by Yaohan just to have that safety net if ever he is gonna killer instinct his way in. Toxic air gonna come out from Emperor, but I don't think Power is gonna try and duel this one out. The wave of minions really hurt. Those are Baron buff minions, and Power is just the only one left to clear or take those minions out. 13 minutes in, 6 entering the scoreboard. Looking at the mid lane, Mirmo looking prime in their position.
Right, and Murmur Easters is now pressuring in. Look at bot lane.
Red team lost a turret.
They did lose a turret, but will it be enough? For the side of Mirmo, yes. For FENNEL, it's a struggle. Voidseeker not gonna connect. They're gonna come through. Domain! Yo! That Arcaden Rain just took down a huge chunk of his life. He was forced to go back. He was supposed to be a frontliner, but that's not going to be the case because Yaohan is good on this Kaisa. Now that is going to be the last outer turret for the mid lane being taken down by Mirmo. They still have Encore. That is going to be Shaw jumping in, but you know what? You have the Encore connecting on the 3. Plus the crescendo now for the adversity. They have no other choice but to try to fight out. Don't want to go over to Kaisa. Next to keep RB down. You flash in, jump in for XCXP. You were able to get a lot of kills in. That is also going to be Rafa being bursted down, but that is going to be the fight that the Mirmo is going to be winning because they want to target this Nexus Kaisa being taken down. You have a double kill going over to Shaw. Will it be enough? Because yes, it is going to